but I haven't seen them play any like actual poison cards. This is just a knight deck. How did I not realize it? This is just a Brothers in Arms, Gifted Recruits. This is just a knight deck. Guys, do you remember on like turn 1 or 2, we literally played, we cycled the Wolf Cloaks. You guys remember that, right? And we cycled it so we could draw it right now. Hey, Rush Reckless here, and welcome to Rush to Diamond episode 17. We've come honestly a long way. 17 is kind of a big number, and we're going to purchase this from the shop because I saw this in the shop, and we're going to buy this. And you're probably thinking, what are you doing, Reckless? What is this? And pretty much I've taken quite a bit of time to consider things. A lot of you guys have been telling me play Shyvana Rush, and while I really would like to, number one, I don't even own Shyvana. So for those who keep telling me to play Shyvana, I don't own the card. And number two, well, it's kind of become apparent that my pack luck on this account has been actually pretty horrendous. It's been really bad. And I guess I've started to decide, I'm starting to consider different things. So instead, basically our new game plan, instead of like, I believe this was what I really wanted. This is kind of like not this exactly because we have some missing cards, but this kind of idea was my go-to. Yeah, Yowling Weaver is also missing here. Instead of doing like, you know, Saber Paws and Yowling Weavers, we might not even get to do that build because our pack luck has been so bad. So instead we're going to stick to more common, like rare card focused. I think that's kind of the idea. Flame Lizard being such a great card, I don't even mind buying copies of this, because if you upgrade this to 4, that's going to be a big deal. I'm actually excited for that one. And with the rest of our gold, we might as well just purchase packs and hope for the best. I'm really hoping to get something good. I'm just going to speed this part up. I don't think it's anything worth actually just watching, so be right back. Okay, so that actually ends up, I just opened up all the packs, and the only thing meaningful we got was 1 copy of Lawless Herd. I did not realize I could upgrade this. Oh boy, I should have realized that, and I should upgrade that. So that was my first mistake. Not upgrading Lawless Herd to level 3 caused me to lose my very first game in ranked because I wasn't able to set down the Lawless Herd into Mistwife's combo. My second mistake was playing Ice Flakes right in front of the enemy Wisp Cloud. Why did I do it? I don't really know what to tell you. I shouldn't have done that, and I don't even know what's going on through my mind. But anyways, the rest of the video was me just winning, losing. It was almost like I was playing tug of war with that star, that tiny star that I needed to get for ranked. And we ended up finishing perfectly nowhere. We actually got net 0 of stars after playing for about 35 minutes, and I don't want to make you guys watch through all that footage because it is kind of meaningless. So instead, welcome to the second part of Rush to Diamond episode 17, where we're actually going to be doing something more meaningful. As you can see here, we actually have a reward on the screen. If you log in exactly on this day, July 29, you get to pick up 500 free gold because the developers were trying to compensate for the lackluster brawl update that we had in the last patch. Anyways, here we are. I didn't even get a chance to do my quest, but that's completely fine. I'm happy. I didn't check my shop either, but let's see what we have. Gift wise is kind of interesting, but no, there's no chance that goes in the build, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that. What we will do is go ahead and buy some noble books. We might even actually want to play Brawl. I don't think it's worth me just showing you guys. This is so good. I just don't think it's worth me showing you guys like my Brawl games, but I might do that on my own time. That also will help a lot with gold capping, but that's only if I have the correct deck to play the casual Brawl, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I really do like the new Brawl system. If you guys aren't aware, they did update the Brawl system to where like there's a lot more. Every time you win a game, you're going to get some kind of resource drop or some kind of like bonus, and it's actually a lot of fun. For those who win a lot, it is a lot of fun. If you are a beginner and if you don't even have the full collection of cards, I would not recommend doing that. Don't play Brawl. It's definitely not worth your money. People are going to be completely just obliterating you. But for those who have a high win rate like me, you can definitely play Brawl because it is lots of fun. We didn't get anything that meaningful. I did like the Gifted Recruits copy there. Very happy with that. Oh, and one more thing I do want to mention. So at the very beginning of this video, I did mention how I don't own Shyvana, which I don't own. But I also mentioned how I don't want to play Yowling Weavers, which I I took a second thought about, and someone on Discord actually did message me saying how like I should be using it, and they mentioned one card in particular I shouldn't be using. And it took me some time to consider it, and I finally came to decide we will not be using Summon Militia anymore. The more I've realized, every single game I play, that card has actually done like absolutely nothing. If anything, it is actually like a negative impact to my deck with Wolf Cloaks. However, Yowling Weavers on the other hand might be useful to me. So I think that is a beautiful change. I should have done that a long time ago. I don't know why I didn't realize Summon Militia. It just doesn't make the cut. If this deck is at max level though, it actually could, because Mistwives can trigger off it. But yeah, I mean, at level 2, it doesn't do much. Anyways, I just talked way too much. I talk way too much on the intros. Let's just get into the game. Okay, so we're going to win this game. I have high hopes for this one. I really cannot afford to keep losing games that I shouldn't be losing. And I like, some part of me does feel like some games we've lost that we could have easily won. And then another part of me says like, not really, because they're just run better cards. But I have to stop putting that in my brain. I have to start thinking, you know, you could have definitely won that Reckless. So we'll start with this card. We'll cycle this out. I don't think this is played very early in the game. This hand does suck, but we will play for value, and value is always good to see. So we'll go ahead and set this down here. Frost Hexers here, just make space. And I mean, yeah, Flameless Scissors can definitely come out on 5. I do like Yelling Weavers, but I just wish it's higher level. Like, a huge part of me wishes it's higher level, because currently it is just 1 more mana for 1 more strength over Gifted, which is kind of like at max level at least. It's like Gifted Recruits versus Westwind Sailors, and that's pretty bad. To be honest, that's pretty bad considering this also has a drawback. So we'll see how it goes. They're going to start completely killing me with that, of course. Of course you have to do that to me. This hand is actually rather solid. It is disappointing that I can't kill that though. Unfortunate. I think we just play Flames down, call it a day. Flameless, and then you're just looking for a way to make space and clear that. That's a problem. Okay, in this case, actually you do play here, and you hope they don't block this. If they don't block this, we have some kind of play going on. But I think this hand even is fine to just keep. I mean, definitely cycle this out next turn. Oh, thankfully this only buffs 2 though. If it buffed 3, the game would be pretty hard. I mean, 2 is already pushing it a bit, but it's almost like the Hearth here. So head start's fine. The reason I play the card here is because I really need to make space somehow on this side. I don't know if that'll happen, but actually I don't know what I'm doing now I think about it. I quite literally just yeah, I kind of quite literally just ruined myself doing that, because now I don't have anything going for me here. 6. Oh, okay, it's perfect. We'll go ahead and do that then. Go ahead and just perfect clear this, and we make space. We're also going to keep our Ice Flakes here, and we reset the front line so we can play Mistwives. Mistwives, this is actually such a nice play where you set down Yowling Weavers here and you play Mistwives top right. Pretty much the Yowling Weavers will trigger after. So Mistwives will walk in first, and then the Yowling Weavers will attack whatever's in front after. So if anything, the Yowling Weaver is just a very strong body. I mean, we might not even need to do that, but if we do, that's what it looks like we'll do. So in this case, for example, you don't even specifically have to. I think even the Hearth is better here. The Hearth is actually better here, but not really. They're gonna clear it because it buffs it. So we actually can play the Hearth further back. Not an easy play, guys. Not an easy play. I'm considering like Yowling into Mistwives here is just kind of useless in my opinion. We'll go ahead and do this and just Hearth a little bit back. Keep it away from danger, keep it away from Dark Harvest. So we'll just play it over here. Actually, over here is safer. Since we already have frontline, I don't know if this card sees play. I don't think it does. I don't want to kill my Ice Flakes. I don't want to kill my Ice Flakes. Tough decisions though. Like, I really don't know. A big part of me doesn't. Okay, so I know some people are saying like Ice Flakes is bad and stuff, but I honestly really do like the card. I don't know, it's just a well-statted card. You set it down. It's a good value. Cheap. What more can you really ask for at that point? What? Oh, okay. That's very strong actually. A level 3. Oh, perfectly clears it. At least we do get the buff. If it goes onto this, I'm happy. Didn't go into that, so this is a problem now. The problem is that we don't have any good way to deal with that at all. The good news is we can actually tuck this in here, which would be pretty solid. Oh, I really like that. Now we can even freeze this if we wanted to, but I think freezing just this is better, to be honest, because I want to make space here. So I think that works. It could be a big misplay, but I honestly think it's correct. Let this mock up. I mean, these are not looking very, like, these are not nice satyrs right now. They're kind of eyeing me down, to be honest. How big they are. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it perfectly buffs too. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, if it buffs this, actually it doesn't. Which I'd be kind of down for. Oh, coming in with the full swing. The heart just buffs that. Let's go. Okay. What do we do here? Honestly, G piece is no play. Yeah, it does not see any play here. This actually, we can play out our whole hand. The question is, how do you play it out? Because there's like almost nowhere good to go at all. I guess we can just play a bit defensive here. We'll go ahead and just kill this into... Lawless Herd is better. Oh, sorry. Lawless Herd is better, so we should play it first. Can go ahead and set down Ice Flakes here. Maybe Hearth over here. Or here. I'm honestly scared of Dark Harvest, so... I mean, realistically, it doesn't matter where I play it, because if they just play unit Dark Harvest, well, I mean, it's kind of doomed. But at least this gives some extra pressure for them to do something else. Me putting Hearth here would just mean one Dark Harvest clears everything, so... Tough game. I don't think we're exactly winning, but we're not losing either. I mean, on the board, if they can defend somehow, yeah, we are losing. That looks promising. This can just walk up. Huh. Interesting. The enemy just leaves our whole front line just completely undefended, and we're going to take the game away just like that. Look at that. Full swing. Boom. Boom. Okay, we won against these Bucks players. I'm pretty happy with, because not the easiest thing to deal with. Not the easiest thing to deal with. Not the easiest thing to deal with at all. So that's good. That's our first win as well. Hopefully we can get 2 more games in. I really want to. It's almost, guys, the season's almost over and I'm still so far behind. I need to at least be gold 1 by now, no? Okay, so we're gonna try our best. This one took quite a bit of time to load. It is against a base out 13 though. You don't see that too often. So surprisingly, I'm actually happy to see this one. Ooh, and they skipped their turn. I'm very happy with this. Okay, we can go ahead and cycle Hearth first, but no, you play Gifted first, you cycle Hearth second, and then see what you draw. That's why you cycle Hearth second, because now I can play Lawless Herd and we get a Mistwives trigger if necessary. However, Flameless Lizards is just a lot better, so I mean, to be honest, it wouldn't matter, but this is still 1 stat over the Frost Hexers, so I was actually correct in doing that play. Wow, this player is playing with level 1 cards. That makes me feel bad now. Now I feel bad. You know, when people play this card like Hatchers, you could kill it, but I'm not the type to kill it, for being honest. We're just gonna let it go. Just gonna let it go. We should, yeah, we play in that cycle. We just let it go, because if we trigger it, they might have some kind of tricks on their sleeve, up their sleeve. At the same time, we can just Frost Hexer like GP into it, completely deny the death effects. So there's really no reason to clear it there. And you need to play Flameless as far up as you can. So that is correct. Toad can hit the Gifted. That's fine. Actually, Toad is always a good card, but I'm still really happy with this play. Ooh, we have so much going on, but I think these 3 is most correct right now. Frost Hexers into GP into Potion seems to be the way to go. I'm just trying to think which one's most valuable, and I honestly do think it is like this line. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll clear that. Even though this is kind of less rush-y, I'm a little scared now. Nah, there's no way they can do something against that. Even Feral Shaman, like Shaman, they use Feral on me. I can easily just Like, it's gonna survive. This thing is too strong. And the enemy is actually disadvantaged. This is surprising. Ooh, Twilight comes out. What? Twilight comes out on this? To buff that? It wouldn't even matter. It's a perfect trade. Okay, I have no idea what's going on right now. At all. But does it really matter? This is kind of funny. I'm a little scared of that, but not really. So I think Ice Flakes, Mistwives is the way to go, to be honest. You could also just Ice Flakes here and Mistwives here. I'm trying to think of like Yowling Weavers, but Ice Flakes is just a little bit better. To the point where I kind of don't even want this. Yeah, we'll go ahead and cycle this first. So you could also play... What's the best line here? Honestly, this is the best line. I don't know what I'm saying. I think this is the best line. Like, this has to be the best line where you're defending the Flameless. Like, I was trying to say, okay, if you just played that, okay, they're actually kind of they're a little bit indifferent actually. If I played Mistwives on this side, it makes it hard for the enemy to clear both. Okay, there you go. So confinement. I'm just looking for the Wolf Cloak's lethal, really. That's why I was kind of curious whether I should defend that or not. But either way, like, this is really solid. I think we win no matter what. This isn't even lethal though. It's one off, even with the Vitalize. But that's why we have Wolf Cloaks. I really... Oh, enemy is not too happy with what I'm doing. Uh-oh. So it was misplay. Because now I can't win. Oh my goodness, so sad. If I played Mistwives on this side, we would have won by now. Okay. It's okay. Let's just take a step back. I need to defend this though. I think you have to trade with that. You don't necessarily have to trade on this. If I'm at 7, they're at 8 mana. What's the chance of me dying? I think it's actually safer. Wait, 7, 8, 4. I honestly think it's safer to defend, like to block them. But I don't know. I really don't know. Like, this is such a hard play. Whatever, we'll play like this, but you can just lose. You can literally just lose. Which is why I'm not a big fan. I can't believe we're actually... If we lose this, I'm still gonna upload it because, wow. If I just played Mistwives on this side, we win. That's crazy. Mistwives on this side. Why are they running Hysteria with confinement? It's so random. So that's why they didn't use Twilight. That makes sense. They didn't use Twilight on it. Makes sense. This player is smart. Chow's Champions. That was literally so close to me dying. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If I cycle here, there's a good chance I just top deck. I can't cycle Wolf Cloak because I need to clear this. But if I cycle Flameless, like if I play Wolf Cloaks, these 3 are best. But if I cycle this, I can just draw a Mistwives. If I draw a Mistwives, I think I'll just play Mistwives. So I didn't draw it, so that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and play Wolf Cloaks first so it doesn't take that much damage and we get to cycle it back faster. In this kind of board, you can just go ahead and do something like this, I guess. And Lawless Herd is better than Ice Flake, so we'll go ahead and do that. If this goes in, which I don't think it will, but if it does, then we're 2 damage off lethal. Next Wolf Cloaks can win. Can't believe we can still easily lose though, yeah. Considering they have Twilight Prowlers to gain instant frontline, it's not looking too good. I have to start playing a little more defensive. Wow, the enemy is actually playing Smart Hatcher now. Oh, that's so unlucky. They wanted to at least take frontline on this side. Very unlucky, honestly. Uh-oh. Confusion. Everything's gonna go crazy. Wait. That was literally like really good, not gonna lie. And this hand is so good too. I don't think you actually have to trade anything out. That's kind of funny. How does that work? Okay, I don't care. I'm scared of the Twilight Prowlers going straight, so I'm gonna play actually more center based here in case that does happen. They run Confinement, but they also run Hysteria, so I should buff the stronger unit here, which would have to be this one. They have only 2 available tiles, but they could still find some kind of sneaky play. If they use Twilight though, they only get up to here. 1, 2, 3. So I'm still like chilling. And they probably don't have a solid finisher with only 4 mana. There's no way to get that much space. So even on this side, if you do Twilight, it's the same thing. So we covered that base. I'm just waiting for the Hysteria Plague to come out again. Confinement maybe. I don't know, it's kind of funny. They played Toad as well, actually. If they played Toad, it would only bounce to the other side. Honestly, we covered a lot of bases here. If they play Toad on this, it just bounces here. If they damage this and play Toad, it'll go on that side. So there's no way, like if you realize what their deck is, this is just a value play. But the reason why they're able to get here is like with such a low levels, dang, this player is pretty good, not gonna lie. They got here with such a low levels mainly because they're just using some kind of like some very cheesy plays. But this card is bad. I think if they change their deck and played something better than this, they could easily climb higher. But like, yeah, we just win because of that. This card is just not good. Both times they played it, they lost so much tempo off of it. But if they played actually a better runner, like honestly not bad. I know we played I was like crazy game. I was fortunate enough to live, but next time we have to separate our units. Hysteria. Okay, hopefully our final game, because these games are getting stressful. It's against Ironclad. I honestly think I have the lowest win rate against Ironclad, so I mean it's not something I'm really proud about. Psycho Rhymling's here 100%. We don't have anything better, so we will go ahead and do something like this. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do something like this. You want to, like I said, if they play this structure, you want to avoid these two tiles, these columns, because then they can clear and they get the buff. So either of these are fine. I'm kind of thinking about taking space, so I guess this is fine. The Hearth can come on this side, and the Wolfcloaks has to be cycled next turn immediately. Honestly, the only good card at mana 5 here, because we just played GP, so this is just Flameless. That's another problem with this deck. We have too many 2 manas, not enough 3 manas. That's really good. And it's level 4. But luckily, like, see, at least we condition them not to play on this side. I mean, it's nothing like amazing, but I guess it's good enough. Honestly, at this point, I guess he does play for value, no? You could just play for value. You could also play for front. Considering... No, I think it's fine to play for value here. Hopefully this lives and buffs that as well. It's kind of what we're looking for right now. If they want to play according to the upgrade point, they have to play some kind of like... They're not going to play aggressive, they'll play defensive, which is good for me. I'll be happy with that. And it's going to get buffed, so... Yeah, I mean, honestly, right now, the Hearth is definitely better than upgrade point in this kind of game. Because they need to play at... Well, one, this position of the upgrade point isn't that great. Oh, it took damage too. What? That's your play, mister? Not a good play. We'll go ahead and cycle this and top deck Mistwives here. You guys see it, right? There's a Mistwives right there. Do you see it? No. I was honestly just hoping that worked, but it didn't work. That's fine. We're gonna probably Ice Flakes here just so that it defends it. What else do we do? I honestly don't know what we should do. We could also actually gift it forward into Ice Flakes, Frost Hexers. That actually looks really good. Not gonna lie. Maybe I should have played Frost Hexers first. Now I think about it. It is slightly better than Ice Flakes ever since I upgraded my Lawless Herd. This is a very funny structure, and I do like this position, to be honest. It's favorable to me, unless they sneak in some kind of really high potential unit here. Like, I guess Embers would be my downfall, but aside from that, I really do like this kind of setup. And Mistwives into like the Hearth, if that comes out, that would make me even happier. Get all kinds of lines. And so far they haven't made any use of this. We already made I think one trigger. Yeah, only one. Oh boy, this is exactly what I said. Some high potential unit. Oh man, I'm so bad at this game. If I played a little more defensive, we wouldn't be in this problem. So now I have to top deck for my life. And it's unlikely we even... Come on, you have to give me something. Just 1 damage. That's not 1 damage. We actually lost. Oh my gosh, we lost. And what we did was like, I don't know, we played gifted. Oh wow, the enemy is just better. just better. See, like right there, if we played Frost Sexers on left, these are like misplays I don't even like consider, just getting completely destroyed. And I call them out. I actually do consider them because I call it out, but I just lose to it. It's okay. We'll give that player the star. Give that player the free star. But this game is for us to win. This game. It's crazy how competitive it is here in the higher up of gold, man. It's crazy. We'll start by cycling Ice Flakes. I don't think this card is worth it right now. You could do Potion with GP. Okay, this is 7, and this would be 4 plus 1, so 5. You do get movement though. That's tough. Tough call, but I think I'm going to stick with the Lawless Herd Frost Hexers, mainly because I like the fact that we can use GP on mana 5 with like Mistwives. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of like the idea. That's good. So we did play out for that, and it's also just higher value. So I am playing it bordering each other because I want to make a little bit of space for Mistwives, so it has 2 tiles available. Alternatively, you could play the Frost Hexers here, but I think that's a little too slow. Wow, this is such a good turn. Well, actually not such a good turn, but it's pretty solid. We're gonna go ahead and Mistwives first into GP on this side, and then we'll cycle Wolf Cloaks after, because it is our only finisher, and I honestly never really play the card until the game's close to over. So we'll go ahead and do that. Potion the Hearth is good. The Potion is technically a little bit better than Yowling, but Yowling does give us positional value, so we can like use it as a unit for defense and stuff. So unfortunate. This is a perfect trade. Okay, we'll do Yowling or the Hearth in that case. Yeah, I'm down to do Yowling the Hearth, and we're gonna play all the way back though, but like you do give up so much doing that, but I think it is correct. We will go ahead, play Yowling the Hearth. Yowling should always be here, not here. Here is always better, so we'll go ahead and do that. And I guess we'll just play the Hearth on the opposite side. I do like this hand, but I want to cycle for Flameless. This was mana 7. Ooh, Flameless is drawn next turn. You can Flameless Potion. I don't know if I really like that, but I want to risk it. I think it's worth risking. Flameless Potion can... Wait. I'm trolling. I'm trolling, but it works out. Okay, I'm trolling though. My bad, my bad. That was mana 6. Oh, they hit that one. Wait, this is so good. We get a Mistwise Potion play, or we can get a gifted Flameless play, which is actually a little bit better. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that instead. And I want to play Flameless on the left so that we have so that if it survives, we have some potential ideas of defending it on this column. Okay, in that case, we can cycle this. We're gonna draw Ice Flakes, but I'm looking for Lawless Herd instead. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this is good. Pray they don't have like level 4 Loris. Who runs this card? I'm so done at this game. Who runs that card? Okay, it doesn't matter. Here. Okay, that works. I think that is correct, but we'll cycle this first. With GP, you can actually make movement, which honestly doesn't sound too bad. I think it is slightly better just for that. Is it though? It sets up. No, I like this better actually. I will go ahead and do this. So they play this. I don't know why people are playing this, and why is it level 4? Okay, I don't even know. We'll go ahead and play. We don't know what else they play, but I haven't seen them play any like actual poison cards. This is just a knight deck. How did I not realize it? This is just a Brothers in Arms, Gifted Recruits. This is just a knight deck. That's all it is. They're playing just a bunch of knights. That's so funny. No wonder you're sitting here. Just if they played Shadowfen cards, they'd have a better chance of winning. They have a better chance of winning. So there you go, Gifted. This is a strong card though, so you're smart for playing that. You play Victors too. What don't you play? What don't you play? We have to go aggressive here, guys. There's no chance we don't play aggressive here. I think Yowling Weavers, Flameless. And they just played that. Getting like... going a little crazy here, guys. Okay, we don't die. There's no way. They can do veterans at most. If they do veterans on my base, we actually lose though. Hopefully they're not good enough to catch that. If they do veterans on my base, I actually just lose. Now that I think about it, this actually, like, there's no point then. Don't let them veterans. But then it's not rush. Tough decision. I don't care, we'll do this. Go rush. Please don't play vets. Please don't play veterans and just win the game. If they play veterans, they win. Joust Champions doesn't do enough. I have to also clear that. Wow, this game should be a lot easier than this. I know they play Joust Champions, but I'm gonna play it beside because I intend to play another unit here if I can. Oh, Temple Gardens. Okay, I'm actually happy with that. I mean, it does suck it's gonna kill my Mistwives, but then again, we have the space open. This is such a hard game. They did play... I didn't keep track of what level that card was, but I think it will do lethal. I'm pretty sure that's lethal, so instead, let's avoid that. This game is so hard. Oh, don't do that. My bad. Okay, we're gonna play this. I don't like this game. I don't like this game. But I think you have to do this. Wolf Cloaks, gifted. I don't like using Wolf Cloaks like this ever. Because now I need another Wolf Cloaks to actually make use of stuff. Go ahead and cycle. And these later turns, you can see my deck falls off completely. Honestly, I might consider just throwing in a big body unit with movement, which Mistwife should cover that, but there's a lot of cases where we don't have that. So there's the vets. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm happier with that than anything else in the game that I almost just had to look at. Iceflakes actually sees less play than GP because you need movement. That's solid. I like that. Big fan. Okay, we can go ahead and do that. Oh, my bad. Oh, okay. In that case, we have to do something like this then. Still works. Guess we'll play here. We're just fast cycling into... You guys have to consider all the lines though. You guys are thinking about everything. Like right now, I'm trying to avoid dying to exactly Joust Champions. Oh, but I'm gonna lose here to Victor's, no? Victor's comes out, clears everything. Okay, yeah, Joust Champion. It's actually better if they play it now. So I don't have to worry about dying to that combined with the other card. I don't even know the name, the 4-mana Knight. I can't think of it right now. What is this Knight deck? Okay, they can't play thing though, so I'm actually I think we win here, no? We quite literally win here. They should have also hit this one, not that one, because now I get free front line. I think we win. I think we win. I'm happy to call this a win. Or do we play defensive? Honestly, there's no reason not to play defensive. It's a little bit too aggressive. Like everything that I have in mind is a bit too aggressive. To the point where I'm down to just play at least a little defensive here. They do play... It's so annoying because they play Victors, but it wouldn't even matter because if they play Victors, we just win. I'm happy to do this. Let's go. We top deck the Wolf Cloaks and we can win the game. I hope. I mean, we can afford to have 3 units on the board, so there's no way we don't win the game. The only way we don't win is if they magically clear every single thing on the board and they kill us. So that doesn't kill us. Even if they occupy this tile, hopefully I can clear it. I can definitely clear it with Yowling. Maybe the Yowling makes us win. Look, Yowling Weavers can make us win. Like, let's say this was Summon Militia. Oh, we won anyways, actually. Yeah. Never mind. Let's go. Okay, that game was actually a lot harder than I wanted it to be. But, oh my god. I'm glad I caught on to the fact they're playing all knights. That's kind of funny. I know these videos are so long, guys, but I want to play one more. I really need to get this star. Please give me an easy opponent. And hopefully this will be our last game. I'm really looking forward to it. We already got a beautiful Mistwife setup, so we're gonna just do that. No questions asked. Cycle this after, and we're chilling. If we can get Mistwives into Flameless, I'll be very happy. It's very hard to counter that, and then we're honestly just happy. But I mean, we can never be too sure. After what just happened last game, it's not easy. Okay, like. It's level 5, level 4. We can win this. We can win this. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Actually, we can or can't. If they clear this, we just lose. Now that I think about it, yeah, if they clear this, we just lose. But if they don't clear it, it's always better here. Because then we can actually play something here. Why did the SM have to land right in front like that? What? If they clear that, we honestly just lose. And there's nothing you guys can tell me saying that I could have won this game. There's no way. No way, guys. Please. If they clear this or push it or something, probably just lose. But I'm just hoping for the best here. Look at these level 5 cards farming me. It lives. What? It lived. Wait, we have a chance. We have to cycle Wolf Cloaks first, actually. You have to be very precise about this. So this is good. Kind of, actually. This falls into double Windmakers, though. But it defends this. And they just played Gifted. They would need GP. Double Windmakers into GP. I don't like this position, actually. I'm just hoping for the best at this point. If we get a Yowling Potion, we can also win like that. Maybe Yowling would have to be played here, actually. Because we have only dragons anyways. So no Windmakers. Aggressive. Very aggressive line. Double aggressive line. Triple aggressive line. This is tough. This is tough. I think you can't afford to just play Yowling and just do nothing. We need to have a unit here. Preferably a 2-mana unit that sits here. Like Ice Flakes. And then we can play the rest of our hand and I'll be happy. Potion has to get cycled. I don't like this. Oh, wait, that's actually just as good. Okay, we can play Yowling into the Hearth. I think you play Yowling first. We're still alive, but it's not like... not something you're happy about, you know? You can Frost Hexers here. Maybe you can get down a Wolf Cloaks. We're like... very close to death though. I played it separating in case they do run Windmakers because I don't know for sure. If they do run Windmakers, the beauty of it is that it can't go down anymore. It only goes left or right. And that's going to be very, very promising. This player is running all level 4 cards, by the way. And they're not like a bad deck. Like, this is really cheap. Got very lucky SM bounce. Can we win? Or do we lose? Again, Frost Hexers here actually keeps us alive for a while. This is so hard. We can't... oh wait, we can actually top deck Lethal. We top deck Wolf Cloaks. Guys, do you remember on like turn 1 or 2? We literally played... we cycled the Wolf Cloaks. You guys remember that, right? And we cycled it so we could draw it right now. Or not. We're still alive. And it's not the easiest game. But we're still alive. This is so nerve-wracking. Okay. Here. Here. And I don't want to defend this. I think you have to play at least a little aggressive. No? Here. Making the space for the Wolf Cloaks. I mean, another part of me considered like playing Lawless here, but I might end up blocking my stuff. This is really the final turn. This is really the final turn. Whatever happens here is like good game. If I played Lawless here, guys, I end up blocking this, and if they take over this tile, which they will, I cannot wolf cloaks into their base. If I play Lawless here, same idea. If I play Lawless here, this is pretty much the exact same as the other stuff. Please, something live. No Windmakers. You can't Windmakers actually because of that. We still have Wolf Cloak's potential lethal here, but they're gonna block it, no? Wait, we just win. We won. We won. We won with this face. No, wait. Wait, we won anyways with this face. I thought they were gonna play here. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm happy we won this game. What a crazy match. Crazy match. We deserve to win that. I think that made me happy enough to just call it a day. I think we're good for today. We're not gonna be playing any more ranked forever. And this is going to be the final episode. No, I'm just kidding. It's not the final episode. But we're very close to Gold 1. I'm very happy with that. And there's a couple days left before season ends. So we have just enough time maybe to finish that. So hope you guys enjoyed and have a great one. Peace.